Welcome to the Shootin The Que podcast presented by Heath Riles Barbecue with tips, tricks, and an inside look at some of the top pitmasters in the game. Now here's your host, Heath Riles.
Welcome back to another episode of Shootin The Que. Today I'm joined by my lovely wife Candace, of course, and a very special guest, Miss Elizabeth Heiskell.
Excellent. You nailed
Look at that. I got it.
Knocked it out of the park.
Bam. I only practiced 3 times before we roll. Only practiced 3 times. So, first off, thank you for coming on the show. We know you have a very, very busy schedule. And for everybody that don't know who you are, kind of tell everybody what you do in food and how you got started.
Yeah, so we I have a catering company, and that's how I started. I was, I'm not the smartest person in the world. I struggled through school and had a hell of a time in college, and but I was always good at cooking, and I loved to work. So during high school and college, I worked for a catering company in Memphis, and loved it, and then just couldn't do the college anymore and really started focusing on that. And then I was looking for, a real job, and I found my real husband and got real pregnant. And so that was kind of what I was doing. And then I had my first child, and then I started a business with my best friend Jency called Instead of Flowers. And so it was basically a delivery service. If somebody died or had a baby, don't call and order flowers. You call me and we're going to take some casseroles, And so it was a great concept. And then that quickly morphed into catering. And so that's kind of where I've been for a long time. And then we moved to the Delta. I was the head chef at Viking Ranges Corporation, that little stove company down there that revolutionized our kitchens. We were the first ones to ever put stainless steel in kitchens. There was no stainless steel refrigerators, ovens, any of that. And so I was there working for them, teaching cooking classes. Then we moved to Oxford to start a vegetable farm. And yes, thank you for laughing at that, because it is absolutely hysterical.
It's like
ludicrous.
You didn't have enough to do.
It's ludicrous. So we headed over there, and anyway, I'll fill you in on all this. And then catering has really taken off. And after a lot of work and a lot of praying, I've been on the Today Show now for 10 years. So I'd wanted to be on for 15, and I had one chance, and that was all I thought that you got. Like, I didn't know you got invited back. So anyway, so we're busy catering and writing cookbooks and social media and all the things. Heath, you know exactly what's going on.
Well, you seem like you just have so much going on. It's completely crazy. I just have to ask.
You wouldn't know anything about that, would you, Heath?
I mean, we burned the road up pretty hard, and I learned a long time ago that no one's going to give it to you. You got to go out and get it.
You're right.
And if you're willing to go out and get it, usually more comes back to you than you probably deserve. It's the people the couch setters and the naysayers and the people that talk about you or talk about doing it and don't never act on it.
Right.
And it's, you seem like, just like me, you want to be really just go. I don't know any other way. Mm-mm. I mean, it's wide open. There's one way with me. But I have to ask, so tell me about the Viking Ranges Corporation. You were there for 8 years. Mm-hmm. I've actually been in several meetings in that kitchen area.
Oh, I love that.
And been involved with, and yes, I did teach a barbecue class there one time, right? A cooking class? Not a cooking class, but
wasn't a cooking,
like
class.
A Viking. Didn't I cook for a judging class there?
Yeah, it's always been barbecue related when we were down there.
That's fun.
But
yeah.
Yeah, so I was teaching. I had started my little catering company in the Delta, and I had some girlfriends that called me and said, I want you to come over and we're gonna have wine, and I want you to teach us how to make some weeknight meals. And so I was happy to do anything. So I went over and did that, and there was one sweet lady that was there that night. Her best friend was Carol Puckett, and Carol Puckett was head of the hospitality group for Viking. So you had Viking, which was all the manufacturing and the ovens and the stoves, but then you also had this beautiful concept, and it was really one of the first concepts. I mean, it was revolutionary what they did, which of course we do this now. So it was a lifestyle brand for Viking. So basically, if you love Viking Ranges, well, then it would only make sense that you love beautiful hotels, you love spas, you love cooking stores, you love cooking classes, so it's like this sort of 360 brand. And so we had the Alluvion, we had the cooking school, we had the spa, we had all of that there in Greenwood. And this lady that was in the class called Carol and said, look, Carol, I went to a cooking class last night in Cleveland, and if this girl decides that this is what she wants to do, y'all are going to be in trouble. You need to go ahead and hire her right now. And so I got a call from Carol and went over and interviewed, and I said, look, I don't know anything. I said, I didn't go to culinary school. I said, I'm as dumb as a box of rocks. I mean, I just figured this out by messing it up 16 times and then finally figuring out, I have no idea what I'm doing. And she said, listen, she said, I can teach you every basic that you need. Okay, I can send you to culinary school for a 6-week boot camp, but I cannot teach you how to entertain our guests, how to make them feel welcome, how to make people have fun, how to get them excited and energized. She said, I'm not worried about it. So I started training with Martha Foose down there, who has Screen Doors and Sweet Teas, fabulous cookbook, really incredible chef, James Beard Award winner. And so I worked under her for about a week. I think I did maybe 2 or 3 classes. And then they sent the schedule for the next week, and I was teaching one by myself. And I called Carol. I said, I'm terribly sorry. I said, I think there's been a huge mistake. I said, remember we were talking about maybe a boot camp and some other stuff, And she said, no. She said, Martha says you know just as much as she does, and you're ready to teach, so you'll be there on Friday. And that was my first class. And so I was there for about 8 years, and it was such a great experience, because what it did, it taught me how to explain, how to teach things to other people, because I had learned just like a home cook learns. I'm just a cook.
That's me too.
Yeah.
I'm not a professional chef.
No, God, no. No. Anyway.
My pinch is a lot bigger than the chef's pinch, I promise. I'm a little more heavy on the seasons. I'm a Southerner. I want to taste it. Yeah. I have personal friends that are really good chefs. I'm like you, that's been to James Beard House and cooked. Oh, and they love their God salts and their peppers, I love them. And they're brilliant. All this. And yes, and we only can do a pinch of this and a pinch of that, and that's all you need for the simplicity. And I'm like, no, I need to taste some salt. Like, give me some pepper. I need some back end heat. It is.
You go a little overboard sometimes.
Maybe.
With the pepper.
That's the soul food in me, kind of speaking.
And then you complain about it.
I always screw one. Do you do that?
What?
Do you sometimes screw the first recipe up when you're trying to develop something?
Oh, God,
but
yes.
But then the second time, you're like, I just need to make 2 adjustments, and it's perfect.
No, you've got to.
Well, you got to practice. I get that.
That's all about learning and practice. 100%.
So she eats a lot of my not-so-perfect stuff.
Well, see, that's the problem.
Well, we both do.
Well, because you're there.
You don't want to waste it.
Yeah, and the dog ain't going to tell you back whether it was too salty or not. You know what I mean? So you got to have a guinea pig.
Well, it's hard for us, too. Our tastes, our palates are very different.
Yeah.
So
I like sweet and heat, and she likes savory with heat.
I like sweet if it's dessert, but if it's not dessert, I don't need sweet.
Oh, see, I love it. I love
sweet meat.
So she don't like a sweet kiss on your lips and then the heat in the back.
No, I do. I do. In my baked beans, everything. My
that's
slaw.
There's
I can't.
I love it more than anything, but not my chicken salad.
So she won't eat a sweet potato.
I'll eat a sweet potato.
She'll eat it, but just say Thanksgiving yams. She gets yams on a plate. That'll be the last thing she eats on the plate.
It's like dessert.
She'll eat everything else before she eats the yams. We're probably, me and you is going to take a bite of it with everything else.
I don't know why I'm that way. I'm just that way.
I love it.
That's
it.
Part of
that's what do they say? That's why there are 31 flavors of ice cream up at the Baskin Robbins, because guess what? We're all different and like something different.
That's just me.
I'm going to leave that comment alone. I'm going to leave it alone. I could twist that in 8 different ways. So after you left Viking, you also do some stuff for Southern Living, right? Yeah. So my husband came home one day, and he had been talking to one of his friends, and he said, Elizabeth, he said, I've been talking to this, my friend that was in my fraternity, and I'm like, yeah. And he said, well, he's got a vegetable farm outside of New Orleans, down in Hustler, Louisiana, and they're growing all these beautiful vegetables for all these restaurants in New Orleans and doing really well. I was
like, well, that sounds great. Oh, how fun, whatever. And he just kept talking about it and kept talking about it. And he said, well, he's got a property over here in Oxford, and he's looking for somebody to come and grow vegetables and sell the vegetables to restaurants in Oxford and Memphis. And he just kept talking. I said, what? I said, Luke, what does this have to do with me? And why are we still talking about this? I mean, he'd been talking about it for an hour. And he said, well, he's really looking for somebody that knows how to grow vegetables and like a chef who knows the restaurant business. You know what I mean? Like that's what he really needs. And I'm like, again, would you please, why are we still talking about this? He goes, because Elizabeth, I can grow the vegetables. You can sell the vegetables. My husband had grown up a farmer. He knew all about it. I mean, we could grow tomatoes like nobody's business. And I did at one point said, my Lord, Luke, if we could grow tomatoes as well as we do anything else, we would be rich. I was kidding. I was not like planning on doing this. And anyway, so he just kept talking about it. And finally, he convinced me to go over to the farm, and I did. And we went over and looked at it, and, I was not convinced. We went down to Husser and stood in those fields. And I mean, I literally still to this day, it takes my breath away. I mean, I had seen all of these beautiful vegetables in Food and Wine and all of these magazines, but never did I think that I would be growing, little baby purple carrots and radishes, in 6 different colors. And when you opened them up, they were pink, I mean, it was just mind blowing. And,
farm to table restaurants is very intriguing to me because doing it like that, I mean, I know several people that's tried that in Memphis and other cities, and one of our good chef friends, he had a farm to table place 30 years ago.
Who was it?
His name was France. He was way up in Virginia.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, not from around here, but yeah, he done it right.
Yeah. Well, we were incredibly naive, and Luke had just built me the home of my dreams, and I did not want to leave Cleveland. I did not want to leave. I mean, honey, Viking had set me up. I had an ice maker. Like, and that to me, it was, how you set these goals in your life. And I was like, if I ever have an ice maker, I will know that I have made it. Do you know what I mean? Like I had 2 dishwashers. I had 2 Viking dishwashers. I had everything. And I was not leaving that house unless I was, boxed up, literally dead. I mean, I was going to live and die in that house. Anyway, so we started the farm, and it was like you say, I mean, it was the hardest thing I've ever done, by far, the hardest thing I've ever done. And I have done some really hard stuff, but, I just figured, I'd just kind of float through those fields, and I don't know, maybe I'd have like a cute hat on, when we were harvesting, and those vegetables would just kind of pop up in this, basket. And then I'd hop in like some kind of my friend said, well, maybe Luke will get you a little VW bus and you can paint the sides of it, and like put a turnip on it, follow the turnip truck to the best restaurants in Memphis, like I just had all these ideas of how fabulous this was going to be. Luke Heiskell bought me a prison van. It had bars on the windows. It had locks on the doors. No air conditioning in the middle of the summer. I mean, can y'all even imagine? I'm talking like right now, I was in a van driving. Why am I screaming? I'm sorry, I get real riled up about this. You're going to turn my volume down.
So how long did you do the farm thing?
We did it. We were at the farm for about 11 years.
Well, that's a long time.
Yeah.
So
that's a long time to learn
now,
a lesson.
I will tell you that I got out of the selling business after a year because I couldn't do it anymore. Luke was bossing me around, and I almost ran over him in that prison van one day. He made me so damn mad. I mean, literally, I had this cute boy. Finally, I'd gotten somebody that was helping me because I would have to load all the crates they would load me up. Then I would have to go to all the restaurants. I would unload the crates so they could see it. They would look at it. They would buy. I'd put them back on. Basically, we were bringing the farmer's market to the chefs and running it like a Benny Keith or a Cisco, like a wholesale company. They paid monthly. It was. But anyway, I got a college guy to help me unload and load and load and all that stuff. And we were in the truck, and Luke walked by, and he had a few tidbits of information he wanted me to think about and some criticisms of the way that I was selling. And he slapped the side of that prison van. He goes, "Okay, go on." And I'm telling you, I rolled that window up because, I mean, it didn't have power windows. I mean, I had to roll it up, and I rolled it up, and I looked at Michael, and I said, Michael, I'm going to tell you one damn thing. I'm about to run him over. And I said, and I swear to God, if you tell anybody it was on purpose, I'll run you over too. I've had it. And he was like, Miss Elizabeth, please don't kill him. You've got children. Anyway, so at that point, I had to move on. I just couldn't do it anymore. Yeah, there's a lot. But that's when we started the catering company. We redid a barn that was on the farm, and I went back to catering, which is my love. And then I had all these beautiful vegetables right there at my fingertips, you know. So it was a
So did you incorporate a lot of the vegetables you were growing into the catering?
Oh God, yeah, Lord, yes. I mean, it's magical, and it's something that that I've learned that you'll never be able to go back to another way of eating and living once you've been there and done it that way, because nothing makes sense anymore. I mean, you can go and buy a watermelon in February, but I mean, hell, I can get butt naked and run around the Oxford Square, but I'm not going to do it. I mean, don't do it. Don't eat a tomato in December. Why are you going to do that? I mean, unless you just have to. I mean, a little cherry tomato maybe every now and then, but just wait until summertime when it's right.
So I have to ask you, how do you feel about hydroponic gardens?
I mean, obviously it's something that we need to start looking at because there's only so much ground, but I have not, oh God, so many people about to come after me. I have not tasted a hydroponic tomato that I felt did the tomato world justice, and that is just me, and I'm sorry.
Well, maybe
I'm wrong.
You like hothouse tomatoes and things.
I do. Oh, honey, I love heirlooms. I love slicers. I mean, I can't eat enough tomatoes. I had a tomato this morning.
I mean, but you're right though. It's different between a summertime tomato when it's right versus something you're buying at Kroger or Walmart or somewhere like that in the wintertime. It is a huge difference. You can taste it if you're a tomato person. You can.
Oh, God.
100%.
It's night and day.
I mean, like the lettuces, though, and the broccolis and the things like that, because I do see some of this hydroponic stuff on my feeds. And I actually know one gentleman.
Well, now look, okay, because I am lying to you. Because I do buy that Boston head lettuce that still has the root attached. Yeah. Okay, that's a lovely product. I was just thinking about tomatoes.
Yeah. Well, and there's several things like that with the lettuces and the radishes and, different herbs and things like that. I do feel like the hydroponics going vertically, I really like that. It's really cool as far as space goes and cleanliness and not having to deal with insects and inside and there,
I mean, you're right.
You can have a cool facility instead of sweating 90, all that. So I do see some of those trade-offs with some of that. But farming is the backbone industry of the whole world.
It is.
I mean,
absolutely.
I have a lot of kinfolks that farm. I've got one cousin that farms, we'll see, a little over 3,000 acres. So
yeah, I mean, that's what my father does. He's a farmer. Luke grew up a farmer, and it's just who we are. I'm
sure.
What, honey?
They stay on pins and needles, right?
All the time.
It's always one year to the next how the crop's going to be and how you don't know.
You have no control. And that's that. It taught me, God, Lord, that farm taught me more than just about anything. But one of the things that it taught me is that we are not in control. I mean, I am terribly sorry. If you think you are, that is great, and you can live in that bliss. But, we had no control over the weather. I mean, we had no control over how they were going to grow. I mean, what bugs were coming. And so you really just kind of have to release it, focus on the things that you can control and go from there. And so, I mean, I just, you're right.
Yeah. Well, let's jump into the catering business. Tell me a little bit more about, I want to know about some of the foods and stuff you do at your catering, and you also do some private dinners and events, and you also do some tailgating menus during football games during Ole Miss, right?
Okay, yeah, but I got to. Okay, so first let's talk about catering, then we're going to talk about tailgating. So we cater weddings, we cater events for the university, we cater small, big. I mean, we had a little luncheon this morning for 26 people. So we're full scale. everything from bridal lunches to baby showers to real estate luncheons, or we do the majority of the work for the chancellor's office at Ole Miss. Our chancellor is wonderful, and so we do a lot of events with him. We just did a wedding in Jackson Hole, Wyoming, which was, yes, it was unbelievable. So we were asked by a sweet client, the Porters in Memphis, who are family, we're good friends of theirs. And, they said, do you think you could do it? And I don't even think they said that. I think they just said, we want you to do this. And so I'm on the phone, and Sarah Verdon, who is my right hand, my everything, just like your Candace, but different because I have a husband. Anyway, that sounded really weird. Anyway, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to go there. Anyway, so she's sitting beside me, and I'm talking, and I'm like, Jackson Hole? Yeah, no, I think we could. And let me check that date. Yep, we have those that week available. Oh, yeah, no, I do. Let me go ahead and get some menus sent your way, and I'll get a deposit sent your way. And I hung up the phone, and Sarah Verdon looked at me, and she said, what'd you just do? And I said, I just booked us a wedding in Jackson Hole, Wyoming.
That just sounds like a pallet load of equipment getting sent up and wrapped up on a skid and sent LTLs. All it sounds like me and flying in.
Okay, so what we did? Okay, you're almost listen. I'm telling you, we are cut from the same cloth.
I'm an automatic thinker of how to make it work.
So we had that's the thing. I'm gonna figure it out. So we got Clay Crenshaw, who's up here in Memphis. He's amazing, and he has refrigerated trailers. And I don't know if you've ever seen them, but they're big refrigerators. They'll go down to a freezer, just so you know, if you ever need this. And so we hooked that up. We rented a truck from Enterprise, and we had 3 people that drove out there straight away. We flew. They drove. We rented a little kitchen in Wilson, Arkansas, which was only about 5 miles from the thing. At their community center, they have a little kitchen that they rent out. So we rented that joker out, and we turned it into our catering kitchen. What is that thing? Oh, the big trailer became our walk-in. So when we got there, we pulled everything out. We put shelves in it. We put everything back in, and it was just our walk-in. Y'all.
How many people did you cater for?
350. 350 out in the middle of a field with nothing. No water, no nothing, no electric. Well, they had generators, but we didn't use them.
So what food did you cook?
Okay. All right. So we always do a real pretty main buffet. So that's kind of where you find all the things that, you would imagine on a main buffet. So we had beef tenderloin. They love dips. We did a blue cheese and bacon dip. We did sausages wrapped in puff pastry. We did, a beautiful heirloom tomato salad. We did a really incredible pasta dish. Then we had a seafood station that we had smoked salmon. We had 2 huge clamshells filled with shrimp, and then this unbelievable lobster salad that we did in punch bowls. And so literally it was just mounds of lobster. Unreal. Very lightly dressed. And then we did a wild game station. So we had duck wrapped in bacon. We had quail splits in like an Asian chili sauce. We did duck, quail. Oh, my Lord.
Venison.
Come on. No, hold on. No, we
Elk.
didn't. Wait, shoot. Wait, hold on. Duck, quail. Oh, lamb. And, it'll come to me. But then my favorite thing, I loved it all, but the biscuit bar is something that I just get into.
A biscuit bar?
Okay, So, we'll do, a sweet biscuit, a little sweet blueberry biscuit, almost like a scone. Then we do a cheddar chive biscuit, regular biscuits. I have these hams that I get from this amazing company in Louisiana. It's called Grayson's Barbecue. Knock you down. They're so damn good. So we do those hams. I have chicken tenders. We do pork tenderloin over there. We do strawberry butter, honey butter, blueberry butter, and then we put up preserves all year. So we have all of our preserves. And so it's just like this thing where you can make all these different biscuits. Oh my God, it's so absolutely delicious. And it's beautiful. The presentation is unbelievable. If you go to my Instagram, not that I'm trying to plug that or anything, but Elizabeth Heiskell Official, you'll see the video of it. So you can see we did a really incredible video. So you see the food, you see where we were. That. It is on the Snake River. Okay. So this property is on the Snake River, literally overlooking it. Harrison Ford's ranch was beside our ranch, if that tells you anything about where we were. It was the most beautiful, unbelievable, experience I have ever, and the sweetest, nicest people. I mean, like, I just want to be friends with all of them. I just want to like hang out with them for the rest of my life.
That's one place I've never been, Jackson.
Oh God, you got to go.
We have friends that go every year and really love it.
But I think y'all would like Wilson. I know y'all would like Wilson. Wilson's only just a little bit out. It's right by the Teton National, whatever that is, the park. And it's only about 6 minutes from Jackson Hole, but it's not touristy. And they've got some of the most fun restaurants. It's just good. I promise. Anyway.
So tell me about some tailgating.
We got our asses handed to us last year. I'm not going to lie. We did tailgating, and we did it really well. When I first started, when we first moved to Oxford, my first year back catering, we did it. And it was a different beast then. And we did it for about 4 or 5 years. And then it had gotten so out of control and unmanageable for us that we stopped. I mean, Sarah Verdon, sweet, precious Sarah Verdon, somebody called and cussed her up and down because they ran out of potato chips in the middle of the game and were furious with her because she wouldn't bring, bring more chips. Well, you can't get in the Grove. Once you're in the Grove, you're in the Grove. There's no,
And everything's pre-ordered anyway.
Yeah, right? They knew exactly, yes. But what happens is everybody starts drinking, everybody gets drunk, and then, you're dealing with... Anyway, last year, it was just insane. It was the biggest year that Ole Miss has ever had. I mean, it was absolutely out of control, and I decided that we wanted to get back in. It's like childbirth. It's like you forget how bad it is until you're right back in there, and it was so horrible. And I mean, it's talk about not having any control. I mean, you get into the Grove, it's pitch black dark. You've got headlamps on, trying to set up tents. You can't find the tents because they're all smacked in there like this now. It's just a different ball of wax.
So did you have to set tents up as well?
So we wouldn't set the tents, but we would take the food and set the food up on the thing, which was our biggest mistake.
Was my son worked with somebody down there, the biggest person setting tents up.
He did the manual labor. She's not.
Yeah, I know that. That's what I'm asking. And they set tents up.
Yeah.
And sometimes they would get food on Saturday and deliver for some of the caterers.
See, and that's smart. See, that's the thing. We got real cocky, and we're like, no, we're gonna set up these beautiful Grove experiences in the Grove. You're gonna pay us extra. You're gonna pay a premium, but we're gonna bring it to you on our platters, and it's gonna be so pretty, and we're gonna,
So now when you went back, you go back in disposable pans and drop off and all that?
No. We are taking a year off.
Okay.
Yeah.
But when you did go back, did you go back to disposable instead of setting up stuff like that? Just drop off
this was last year.
I would say you probably didn't do that.
No, last year we were doing platters, we were doing flowers, we were doing like this whole experience.
You don't do no disposable pans in the Grove, Heath? Nope. It's the Grove.
Wow. Well,
it's got to be pretty.
Anyway, so we're gonna take a minute because when I think about it, my stomach starts hurting.
Wow.
Yeah.
So I'm assuming there's not any good, like it's not really not worth the juice is not worth the squeeze.
Yeah.
If you're taking
a lot of sugar for a dime is what I'm telling you, Heath.
Well,
you know what I'm talking. Wasn't worth it. It just there are some people that do it. I'm telling you, my Michelle's, this girl is like a damn machine, and she is so good at it, and she has it figured out. We didn't have it figured out. So there you go. We do big weddings for 300, and like I'm all into the beauty of it, and the making sure that the platters, and it would just drive me crazy that it was just out there and it didn't look good, and it's no.
I mean, I'm kind of with you. That's something I've never been good at. Is like, I want to say setting up like huge stations like that and decorating it with flowers and making it look good. And I've always worked with a couple of different girls that's been able to do that, or ladies anyway, not girls.
Yeah.
That's been real good, but we've always just throwed stuff in chafering dishes, you know what I mean, and little stuff out in front to set spoons on and kept it as simple as we could be.
Yeah.
But I do feel like that when somebody comes in and use wooden boards and put tiered levels, and you got cheese and sausages flowing and crackers.
Yes, it's fun. That's what I love.
And see, we want that too. Like even when we cater our parties. We
Right.
expect people
Yeah,
to
I
do
had
that
to
for
cook
us.
for my own
so-
Christmas party a few years back.
Oh, that was a
Somebody
disaster.
backed out on my caterer. Backed out a week prior.
Yeah.
And so I
Well,
ended
you
up,
got my number now, Heath.
Well, I ended
I
up-
will cater the hell out of that
I
Christmas
kept it as
party.
simple as it be. I called somebody else to kind of set it all up, and I cooked everything in pans. And I said, "Y'all make it look pretty. Here it is.
Yeah,
I'm done."
yeah.
I mean, we just kept it simple. But it's. I actually cooked for 400 last
Last week.
week.
Oh, what were y'all doing?
I had to cook for Kroger corporate for
Kroger.
their company picnic in Memphis.
You know how much I love the Kroger.
Cooked pulled pork, 100 pounds of chicken. I cooked 30 butts, 100 pounds of chicken breasts, and sliced them up. And then we cooked a dozen ribs for some of the VIPs. But that was it. I didn't have to do any sides, unfortunately, or nothing. They done them all out of the deli, but
Yeah, that was smart.
yeah.
Oh, I love that. Oh, I love the Kroger. I go to
But
Kroger every
we
day.
used to do these big caterings every year. I done it on my birthday, and I would have to drive out of town with a catering trailer, and it got to be. I finally told the guys,
Yazoo
look,
City.
I don't want to do this anymore. He's like, man, I'll make it
Where
easy
it
on you.
was.
He said, I'll hire somebody. I could just cook it and hand it to them out of your trailer. They'll serve it. They'll do it. And I kept going up on him $1,000 every year. I just go up just because. and finally, he was just like, don't matter what you go up to, I'm going to write you a check.
It's still
And
happening.
I had to quit him. I had to quit him altogether.
That was in Yazoo
And
City
every year,
year.
he still texts me months in
does.
advance, are you sure you don't want to do this again? Name your price. And I said, nope, not doing it on my birthday. I said, you want to come to my Christmas party? He's like, that's when I do my Christmas party. I'm like, well, can't have it. I said, I'm having a Christmas party now. I said, I'm done. And I used to do that every year on my birthday.
I worked on my birthday last year.
I mean, just part of
In
building
June.
a business. It don't matter.
It is. It is. I mean, like I said, all we see is the color green, and and plus I love it. Obviously, Heath, and you love it. I mean, we're not, otherwise you don't stay in this business.
Food's different though for me. And I'm sure it is for you too. And you know what I'm going to say probably. When you cook something and put your heart and soul into it and really execute it, and somebody not even looking at you and they bite into it and they got that head turn or that eye roll or that whatever, and you're just glazing around the table at people eating, and you go, "Yep, that's all I needed. That's it. I'm done now." I turn around and walk away.
It just hits you,
on to the
doesn't
next
it?
one now. It's different. It's a different feeling.
It is a gift. It is a gift that we give others. And when they appreciate it or when they say thank you or it is my everything. I mean, it is everything that I am is about feeding people. And, a lot of people probably say, well, it's just because you like, instant gratification. Well, maybe I do like instant gratification. But, it just hits. It just
hits
hits.
different. I mean, that's the same way barbecue contest for me. I mean, winning the barbecue contest. And
Oh God! I mean,
20
I would
minutes
die.
later, but 20 minutes later, I'm on to the next thing. It's over.
It depends on the contest.
What's next?
Don't get crazy.
I mean, but y'all, I would, Heath, I'm dying. I mean, I'm dying to come next year.
Well, you should come.
Well, I mean, I know y'all got a big list of people, but my husband, when we first met, we were in a barbecue team. And it was, we had a huge tent. It was just a big partying tent. It was like Todd and all them from
Memphis in May.
Memphis in May.
What was the name of the team?
Wait, hold on. I'll text y'all. We were so bad. I mean, we were just out of college, and
I would probably know depending on what years.
oh,
it was.
they're still there. Barbecue Republic.
Oh yeah, they're still there.
A friend of mine cooks for them now.
Really?
I know a bunch of them boys on there. Jason and
Oh, Jason.
Too Tall Todd.
Yes.
Well, she said
who
Todd.
else?
Well, Todd was the so those were all the original members. This is the funny story about Todd. So like Luke and I, a lot of them would sleep there or whatever, and then then the morning crew would come in and kind of take over. And so Luke and I were dating, so he wouldn't sleep there. So anyway, we would come back, and we came back the next morning about 8:00 in the morning, and Too Tall Todd is laid out on the floor. And they were cleaning just in the middle of the place, like not even in a corner. And they were cleaning the
Porta
porta potties out. And they had the huge tube running right over his
gross.
stomach. And I mean, he was dead to
That
the
sounds
world.
like Todd.
Y'all, it was the funniest day of my life. I mean, I'll never forget it as long as I
So
live.
I used to take care of Todd when he owned Newbies back
Yeah.
in the day in the beer business. But and Beck knows Todd.
Oh,
Yeah.
he's the best. We
That,
love him.
He's always. I still talk to him all the time, and his wife Karen now. So I
Yeah.
guess you know Karen, right?
Yeah, they're great. Great people.
Wow, small world. Well, you also done some catering for Dolly Parton.
Oh my God.
Tell me about that. How did you get hooked up with that?
Okay, so that was a gift. So Sam Heiskell is Haskell, not Heiskell, is one of my dear friends, and he was Dolly Parton's agent years before, and still manages all of her movies and things like that for her. So he's very much involved in her world. Sam was head of the William Morris agency. He started in the mailroom, went out to LA in the mailroom, and worked his way all the way up to head of worldwide television. So any show that you can think of, like Designing Women's, Everybody Loves Raymond, Cheers, just all of those shows during that era, those were Sam's shows. He was the most powerful man in television. And so then he was from Aberdeen and was ready to retire. They built a beautiful home, which is actually just 2 doors down from me. And they got settled there, and Warner Brothers came to him and said, look, we really want you to come back. So now he splits his time between LA and there. But regardless, Mary is his wife, who is an incredible philanthropist. They both are. There's a group called the Women's Council in Oxford for Ole Miss, and they give scholarships every year. And it's just a tremendous organization. They do incredible work with these kids. And it's not just hand them money. I mean, they are mentored. It's incredible. So regardless, Mary was president of the Women's Council that year. They have a big fundraiser every year. And Dolly, she asked if Dolly would come and be a part of this. And Dolly said, absolutely. So she came, and Sam said, we're going to auction off a dinner at an event that was at the year before, I guess. And so we auctioned off a dinner. I was cooking with Dolly. Dolly would be there for 12 people. And it went off for auction, and somebody from Jackson bought it. And so I was in her kitchen. Well, I wasn't in her kitchen. I was in Sam's kitchen, but she was there. And I can still hardly even talk about it. When she walked in, I thought I was going to pass out. She's the most gracious, most lovely. I mean, everybody says it about her, but let me just tell you one thing.
They say she's lovely to be around.
There's nothing like her. Nothing like her. She is engaging. She is kind. She just makes you feel so comfortable, so sweet. Dolores was with me for 22 years and was just my very best friend and helped me raise my children. Best cook I've ever been around, will ever be around, bar none. She was brilliant. And so Dolores was there because she was frying pork chops because we were gonna do Dolly. There's no reason to serve her hummingbird tongue on toast. She doesn't give a damn about that. She wanted to fry a pork chop. Baby, we were gonna do it. And we loved this Christian song that Dolly sings. Dolores and I did. We would listen to it all the time in the car. And when she heard that, she turned and she sang the chorus twice to Dolores. And it's just like I'll never forget as long as I live. Anyway, it was the best night, just the best night.
That sounds pretty cool.
It was. She's something now.
I bet.
Little tiny thing.
She looks tiny.
And she looks like $1 million. Mm-hmm.
Well, she's probably had that much work by now. I shouldn't say that.
She'd tell you. She doesn't care. She'd tell you in a heartbeat.
I had a cousin that was actually a paramedic at Dollywood when they opened for a while. Mm-hmm. And she was there, when we first got married, 5 or 6 years, because she tried to get us tickets every year. But she always said Dolly, when she come, was the nicest, always engaging, asking questions when everybody was doing, remember people's names. Just as really superb. And, when you tell other people that, it makes me look at people differently. Mm-hmm. When people's engaging like that, it's a lot different. Because I've seen some celebrities that won't even speak to you. Mm-hmm. And when they're in an event, they come out of a trailer 2 minutes and then they're gone when it's over. There's nothing in between. And
I just think it's a matter of being grateful. I'm so grateful that anybody that buys one of my books, people are like, oh, would you mind signing? I'm like, are you kidding me? I'm just so grateful you went and bought it and spent the money on it. It's a matter of being grateful. And Dolly she is so grateful for every single thing that she's got. And that's why she gets more and more and more and more and more.
Well, talking about cookbooks, tell us a little bit about them. So far you have written, 4 cookbooks?
Yeah.
And your first one was in 2010. Somebody stole the cornbread from my dressing. That would be a heck of a note not to have any cornbread in your dressing.
So my dear friend Suzanne, she met and married this boy from Pennsylvania. I told her not to. She wasn't going to listen to me. I mean, she was hard-headed as all get out. I said, I can't believe you're marrying this Yankee. I mean, what in the hell are you going to do? And then you're going to go up there and you're going to raise Yankee babies. And then what's going to happen? And anyway, so she was like, oh, no, it's going to be fine. It's going to be fine. And she called me, from their first Thanksgiving that she had spent up there. And she's in tears. And I said, what is wrong with you? And I knew what was wrong with her, but I wanted her to tell me herself. And she said, I just had Thanksgiving and it was horrible. And she went through all this stuff. And I said, tell me about the stuffing. And she said, how'd you know about stuffing? And I said, because I know what the Yankees do. And she goes, I mean, it's just, there was no cornbread in it. There was nothing. They called it, they said it was like dressing. It was dressing. Anyway, it was hysterical. And I didn't want to be rude and say, I told you. But I told you, Suzanne. And so we wrote this book, and it was just a comparison of the food from the North and the South, like what they would do at a tailgate. Okay, they ain't lying. They drop a tailgate and they sit on it. I mean, it's no Grove, and what they do at baby showers or, whatever. Funerals. Oh, my God, the funerals. Oh, Lord have mercy.
I've recently just met people for the first time, and I feel like that don't know what pedophores are.
Oh, well, that's a sad state of mind.
Sorry, I just had to go there when you said baby shower, and I'm like, I guess it really is just a Southern thing because people don't know what a pedophore is.
Well, that's pitiful. We just need to get on up there and start making pedophores. We can make $1,000 million trillion.
I mean, yeah, you could with the right pedophore.
They're good. if they're good, they're good.
Just wolf them down.
But anyways, back to your books.
So that's it. So we started with that one, and that was just kind of a little fun book that we did. And then
what can I bring? Southern food for any occasion life serves up. Now that sounds pretty cool because I guess that's all appetizers and whatever you would need.
What can I bring? So when I had gotten my opportunity at the Today Show, and I'd been on for about a year, and Sid Evans, who is the editor of Southern Living and all the rest of their magazines, he reached out to me and he said, Elizabeth, I want to come and see what you're doing at the farm and come hang out with you. And so he did, and I showed him around, and then we went to Birmingham and met with some people. I did a few videos with them, and then we had lunch with the book editor, the senior book editor, Catherine Cobb. And she said, we would love for you to write a cookbook. And I said, listen, I said, I can't spell pit if you spot me the P and the T. Okay, listen, there's no way that I can write a real book. I mean, the one Suzanne and I did was just like silly. And she said, look, we have editors. We have everything that you need. But, it's your voice that will really make this come alive. And we have a column in the magazine called What Can I Bring? And so it's just like a little small column they did monthly. And she said, we want you to expound on this. And she said, do you think you could do that? And I said, y'all got a pen in 20 minutes? I mean, I could have this thing done. I mean, because you think about it, it was instead of flowers. It was instead of flowers all over again. What can I bring to a baby shower? What can I bring when, somebody has a baby? What can I bring to if somebody's sick? What can I bring if you're moving? What can I bring? And so it was just all of this. So it literally was just, it was great. And, it was funny. It was one of those things that I had wanted a book desperately. And I was so busy with the catering and with the farm, and I can remember I was in the barn, and I don't know what sort of brought it up, and I just looked. It's so weird. I looked at the ceiling, and I said, Lord, I really want a book, and I want it badly. I said, but I don't know where I can find an agent, and I don't have time to find an agent, and I don't even really hardly have time to write it. I mean, I don't have time to deal with all of that, but I really want a book. And I'm just going to put that in your hands. And I thought about it, and I tried to kind of work on getting an agent and doing some other things, and everybody was like, "No, you're no." And so that when they came to me, they were like, "You don't need an agent. You don't need, anything. All you have to do is write this. I'm an incredible editor, and I'll help you. And so that was it. And, I felt like it would do well, but I really had no idea. And we sold out from pre-sales. So they order a certain number of books, and even just through pre-sales, it was done. So then we had to go into our second printing before it ever even came out, which was incredible. And anyway, so that was great. And so while I was signing that book and going on my book tour, they came back to me and asked me if I would rewrite. Southern Living came back and said they wanted me to rewrite their most popular cookbook, which was the 1972 Southern Living Party Cookbook. And so while I was on tour for that book, I was rewriting Southern Living Party, which kind of worked out because I was by myself a lot. So worked on that book, and that one came out a year later. And then Southern Living was sold to Southern Living was sold to Meredith Company, and they shut down the book division. And so I had just sent them a proposal for my next book, which was Come On Over. And so that didn't go anywhere because they weren't doing books anymore. So then I had to get a big girl agent and did that. And then we shopped the book, and I ended up at what is now HarperCollins. So that was my last book, and now I am working on my next book, which is called Joyride. And so it will be a combination of stories and a few recipes, but more story focused, more my life. So we'll see how it goes.
So did you ever see yourself having 4 cookbooks?
I didn't look. My English teacher at St. Agnes, God bless and rest her soul, she told me that I was either going to end up on a stripper pole or in prison. That if I didn't get myself together, that those were going to be my options. I mean, I wasn't like sleeping around. I don't know why she said that. And I said, I can't even dance. I can't dance. So like, I don't even know.
That pole turns on its own. You really just have to grab on it and hold it, and it'll spin yourself.
Okay.
Allegedly.
Is this from?
Allegedly. I'm just
from personal knowledge, Heath?
Yeah, that's what somebody told me.
So anyway, so things were not looking good. And no, I didn't. I had learning disabilities, and obviously you can tell I'm attention deficit beyond anything. And, that was before anybody even knew any of that stuff. And my parents were just the sweetest people in the world. All I had to do was breathe, and I was perfect. I mean, like, they didn't have, I guess I don't know what they thought
My
about.
dad was a cop. I got breathed on for everything. I couldn't do nothing without knowing they knew about it.
Really?
I mean, I did do stuff, but it wasn't like I was a bad child or nothing.
I wasn't bad either. I mean, I don't know why she said stripper. It wasn't like I was dating a lot. I mean, anyway, I think she was just trying to get me in
gear. But the whole
gear.
English teacher thing, I didn't write my own term paper. I even turned in my mom's rough draft. I worked 38 hours a week in high school, and I did. My mom wrote my term paper because I was being lazy, and I used to make straight A's, not even trying. And I didn't want to write the term paper. It was on Romeo and Juliet. I'll never forget it. And she wrote it, and I got a 90. The rough draft I turned in, and I got like a 94 on. And then I paid another older lady in town that wrote stuff to write it, and she still didn't get me a perfect score. I got a 98 on it. My English teacher deducted 2 points.
God, if I'd only known you in high school, I would have had to repeat my senior year because I couldn't write my term paper.
This was my best friend's mom.
I know, but why didn't I think about that?
We used to go to his house and wake him up.
I could have been a whole different person.
We used to go wake him up, and his mom, I guess she just didn't realize she left the teacher's edition at home. So we could get the teacher's edition, look up any answers we needed. You know what I mean? At the book. And then go on to school.
Where'd you go to school?
Hickory Flat.
Okay. All right.
Country.
They don't know no better there.
I mean,
well,
look at me now.
There you
look
go.
At me now.
Exactly. Look
and I
at
actually
us.
did not go to college.
Okay. Well, I went to every school that there was. I mean, I went to, and I just couldn't. I mean, it was ridiculous. I mean, I failed my senior year. Then I went to Memphis State. Then from there, I went to UT. That would last a semester, and then that landed me over at the Pellissippi Junior College. It's a fine place. And then after that, I went to Mississippi State, stayed there for a little bit, then left Mississippi State, back to Memphis State, which is now obviously the University of Memphis. And that's when I met my husband, and y'all know the rest of the story. So, yeah, God bless my parents. I mean, what did they even think? If my child, anyway, never mind, doesn't matter. Whatever.
It happens. It is what it is. I do have a question about the cookbook, though. What's the one recipe out of all the books you've wrote that stands out above all the rest?
That's hard.
No.
Do you have a recipe you've developed that's just like, that's your go-to?
That is a damn winner. There are a couple of them, but I would say the Smith Lake cake in What Can I Bring is probably the recipe that people come up to me and make over and over and over and over again, which is funny because I'm not really a baker. And then my chicken enchiladas are absolutely just beyond. I mean, that's what everybody wants to talk about.
So what is in the Smith Lake cake?
Oh, honey.
So you gotta ask
it's
this.
so good. You start with the box cakes. Oh, Jesus. Start with a box cake mix. You see how excited I am. Then you add, all these
cream.
other things. Yes. But then what happens is after you bake it, you cook wine and sugar together, and then you soak that. So you pour it all over the top, and then you turn it out. And it's just a bundt cake. Any kind of wine that you didn't drink or that you're about to drink. I always say, if you're not going to drink it,
so it's almost like
don't want to cook
taking milk
with it.
and sugar and melting together and easing it over a cake, because I know my grandmother used to do that all the time before she'd ice one, and it would keep so moist.
I'm telling you, and the thing is that it's so unassuming. The picture in the book is the most unassuming. I mean, because it's a bundt cake. It's just an uniced bundt cake.
But with wine.
Telling you, trust me.
So do you let the wine soak in on the
Hell, I
cake
should have
before
brought y'all
you
one.
dump it out?
You let it soak and cool, then you dump it.
And it soaks all the way through the cake?
Yes.
So you can actually do it with red wine?
And you would you don't even end up tasting the wine.
Okay.
You really don't.
That's
I'll have
interesting.
to try it now.
Yeah, it's a good one. And the enchiladas. I mean, there are a lot of recipes. It's hard. I forget. It's like I hadn't looked, I do. I look at them a pretty good bit. But, yeah, those are probably the two standouts that people come up to me or stop me and say, your Smith Lake cake is my kid's favorite thing, or whatever.
Well, so tell me a little bit more about the Today Show.
It was, it was a dream that I had wanted for 15 years. I told y'all about my little business called Instead of Flowers. And so in the beginning, we were not busy at all. And we did a lot of TV watching. And the Today Show was obviously our favorite. And so Martha Stewart was coming on. It was the Monday before Thanksgiving. And honey, we were so excited we didn't know what to do. Because Martha was our everything. And I mean, the turkey that she did, it was so underwhelming. I mean, it could have just been a roasted chicken. It was just nothing. And so anyway, we did that, and I just looked at Jency and I said, Jency, I said, everybody's got to know about my grandmother's pillowcase turkey. I mean, she would take a turkey, wrap it in a pillowcase, then she would saturate it in red wine, chicken broth, and then continue to baste it with butter, okay? So, baste it every 30, 45 minutes, whatever. And then right before it was done, she would pull it out. She would pull the pillowcase off, put it back in the oven, flip it, and let it get beautiful and brown. Because she had to have that Norman Rockwell turkey, I mean, she was not going to stand for an over-brown turkey, because then it wasn't done in the middle. Anyway, it really is one of the very best turkeys. I had done it in Southern Living during this 15-year interim when I was so excited and wanting to be on the Today Show, and it landed up in the top 10 out of all the 10,000 recipes that they tested that year. It was a turkey. A turkey! Can you believe that? So anyway, so that was I just was determined, and so I kept it on my radar. I mean, I would watch the Today Show and I'd be like, okay, Al, I'm coming to see you, or I'd be like, hey, coworkers, I'm on my way. And, my girls were always like, Mama, we want to go to New York, because I have 3 girls. And I said, oh, y'all, we are going to go. As soon as I get on that Today Show, honey, we are all going to go. And I'll never forget, one time I had a couple of couples, two friend couples, that were going to New York and wanted us to go, wanted Luke and I to go. And Luke was just hell bent he was not going. He said, I've never been, I'm not going. And I said, and just on and on. And I was like, okay, well, that's fine. He said, I tell you what, we'll go when you get on the Today Show. We'll go then. Thinking that was never going to happen, And he doesn't do that with me anymore. And so anyway, I just kept it as a thing. And we had started the catering company again. We'd redone the barn, and I got a call from one of my clients, and he wanted us to do a dinner at Roanoke. He had donated a tremendous amount of money to the museum, and so they were allowing him to have 12 people at this dinner. And I found out that one of them was Andy Lack, who had been president of NBC 20 years before. And so I also found out that he was taken back over on Monday. This dinner was on Thursday. And honey, I'm telling you, I put the dog on. I've never cooked so hard, so thoughtfully. I mean, there was not one piece of silver left in the Mississippi Delta because, buddy, we had brought it all to Oxford. I mean, it was the most incredible night of my life. I mean, my daughter made cheer. You know how you do. They practice. Well, you have boys. Well, you'll know. Anyway, so it was a big deal because Mary Paxton had tried out for cheer, and I wasn't going to be there once the names came out. Anyway, she got cheer, and it was incredible. And so after that dinner, they were taking photographs, and he held my hands and he looked at me and he said, "You, my dear, are wildly talented." And I said, "Oh, Andy," I said, "you tell all the girls that." And he said, "No, I don't." He said, "I've been everywhere, I've eaten everywhere, and you, my dear, are talented." And I said, "Oh, thank God." I said, because listen, I've been wanting to be on that Today Show for 15 years. I said, I know you got a lot to do when you get to work. I mean, you got to get those pens and pencils organized. You got to get that little nameplate outside your door straight and, all that. But as soon as you do, I'm going to need for you to go ahead and put me on the Today Show. And of course, everybody there knew me and they were like, "Oh my God, have you met Elizabeth? Like, seriously, like she needs to be on the Today Show." And he assured me that yes, he would. And I've come to learn that just because people tell you they will do something doesn't mean they will. It's very upsetting.
You gotta wait till it happens.
Very upsetting. And so 3 months went by, and I just said, I'm not going to give up on this. I knew it was my opportunity, and so I sent him pimento cheese straws. My Bloody Mary mix and a little notepad that Sarah Vernon ran and got. And it says, so like on the outside, it was printed. It said, "What to do today." And then you opened it up, or he would open it up. And I wrote, number 1, call Elizabeth Heiskell and put her on the Today Show. Number 2, write Elizabeth Heiskell's name on the back of your hand in black Sharpie in case you forget about Elizabeth Heiskell by the time you get to work. So it went like through 10 things that I wanted him to do. And I mailed that to him, and then I finally got the call. And so Debbie Kozowski called me. I was never forget. I was driving right on the square in Oxford. I saw that New York number came up, and I could not breathe. 'Cause I didn't know anybody in New York. I mean, it had to be them. And this is before scam callers. And so,
hello.
Yeah, exactly. And so I talked to her for about an hour, which is hysterical because I don't think Debbie's ever talked to anybody for an hour in her life. I mean, they're very, very important. And so at the end of the conversation, she said, "You know what, Elizabeth, I want to bring somebody down, and I want to do a story on you and the farm and the tomato dinners that you do and all this." And I mean, I just sat there. I was like, "That's fine." And she said, "Well, you sound real disappointed." And I said, "Yes, Debbie." I said, the dream was, and she said, "Listen, we all know the dream up here, but if you would just let us come down there," she said, "Do you know what people would pay to have the Today Show come to them?" And I was like, "Well, I'm sure it's a lot of money." I said, I don't know. And she said, "Just let us come down there, and then I promise we'll get you to New York." And I said, "Oh, thank God." I said, "My husband has had me on this farm. I have been driving a prison van, and I just really wanted to go somewhere." And anyway, so they came down. They did a beautiful, beautiful segment on the tomato dinner, and then anyway, it even won or was up for a James Beard Award nomination. And so it was a really great segment. And so then, I kept waiting, and I was headed into the Auburn game, headed to Grove. We would drive the prison van in at that point in time because, it was big and we could put all our stuff in it. We'd have chairs and coolers and kids, and we'd pick up drunk college girls, get in the van, we're going to the Grove, it was hysterical. Hyro, who drove us in, he would, one time he looked back and he goes, just like Honduras, but no chickens. Because we would be stacked up to the hilt.
Oh, I know how that is.
So I got my phone out and I looked at it. I was about to turn it off, and I had an email from Debbie, and she said, "Would you be willing to come the Monday before Thanksgiving? And do you, by any chance, have a turkey recipe?" So nobody knew about that turkey but me and Jency and Jesus. That was it. I never talked about the turkey. It was always that I wanted to be on, and so that was it. That was my first segment on the Today Show. Monday before Thanksgiving, I did a turkey in 2 minutes and 13 seconds. I've never shook. My hands were like this. It was.
I've done some rib demos like that. 2 minutes. It's like from start to finish. It's like, it's a lot to get out.
I know, it's a whole damn turkey. And so that was my first segment. We went to oh God, y'all, this is the best part. I'm so sorry I forgot. So, Luke, who was doubting me, guess when that all falls in? That would have been the opening weekend of duck season. Guess what my husband's favorite day of the whole entire year that he lives and breathes for? That is duck season.
And he had to go to New York.
And he had to go to New York, y'all. It was the best. So he took the girls.
That would have been pretty hard for me. Depending on where he hunts at.
It's tough. So we took him up there. Everybody went. Sarah Verdon went. Morgan went. All my people went. The kids went. And so then afterwards, we were having the best time. We went to Tavern on the Green. We were drinking champagne. I took the girls shopping, and I got another email from Debbie, and she said, "We love you so much. We have to have you back. Can you come on Wednesday?" Well, honey, I knew so little about the show that I didn't know you got asked back if they liked you, and certainly not a day later. I ever. And so then after that, she sat me down and she said, "We love you so much. We really want you to come back. About every month, every 6 weeks." And, would that be okay? And I was like, does Dolly Parton sleep on her back? Yes, that would be, yes would be the answer.
So you're still continuing that to this day?
Okay, so hold on. So a year later, she called me. I was in the prison van. I was taking some tomatoes up to Nashville. And she said, we would like to sign and contract you. We're going to pay you. And so it's been 9 years since I was signed and contracted as the Today Show food contributor. My dream was one time. But I had turned it over to God, and I had turned it over. I of course got in there and would meddle.
You manifested it to yourself.
100%.
And I'm a power of that till you tell yourself something enough. If you don't believe in yourself, nobody else will.
It's unbelievable.
110%.
Yep.
You believe in yourself.
It's unbelievable. So anyway, so that's it. So that was my Today Show story, and everything changed after that. And I'm going to tell you why. Because it didn't matter what I was up against, didn't matter how hard things were or how crazy the dream was. I knew that if I could get on the Today Show from the middle of a tomato field, no agent, no publicist, no nothing. I'm talking just me and a catering company and Sarah Verdon. That's it. If I could, not me, but if that could be managed, then I can do any damn thing. I'm not saying I don't get scared and I don't think, God, why in the hell did I do that? Jackson Hole would be one example of that. But you do, you just do it. It's going to happen. It's going to work.
So looking back on your journey, what's, on your culinary journey, what are you most proud of?
I honestly think not giving up on that. Not giving up on the Today Show, not giving up on the dreams that I have. But yeah, that working with Jackson Hole. We've had Dolly Parton, Priscilla Presley, cooking with Thomas Keller. There have been so many things. Getting that job at Viking. I could go on and on every day. It's just like I'm amazed, and I still have so much more to go. Like I'm just getting started.
Have you met Martha yet? I want to know that.
Yes, honey. Yes.
I just want to know if you met her.
Think about this. So every Thanksgiving we do the All Stars, and so for 10 years I've been there. And the first year they did it was when I was there, which was amazing. And Martha is on every year. And I mean, she loves my cheese straws. I have her cell phone number. I'm not going to call her now.
Well, I'm sure they need a barbecue guy coming up.
Yeah, they do, honey. Heath, I'm telling you, they would love you. They would wrap you up and keep you. And the only problem is I don't want a whole lot of people from this area going up there, because then they're going to realize that I'm just a dime a dozen. They'll be like, that girl, hell, I didn't know there were 8,000 of them down there.
No, there ain't too many people that
That's not true. There's not a lot of people that I do see similarities in the both of you. You're both very friendly, and I mean, that's a Southern thing, I feel like, but not everybody from the South is that way.
I used to get in trouble in high school for calling teachers baby and honey.
Well, he did.
That's how, I was just, that's me. I can't help it.
He still offends people sometimes to this day, because that's just how he talks. And when we go certain places, some people do not appreciate that.
You don't have to tell me when I was in New York.
They don't appreciate that.
I still don't care.
What are you doing? Like, who are you talking? Why are you calling me that? I mean, furious with me. Mm-hmm. I'm like, oh my God, sweetheart, I'm sorry. And they're like, okay, stop.
I don't really never get much said to me about that. I've only had a couple people look at me, and I mean,
they don't say it, but sometimes you can tell by a look, like they don't appreciate that.
Most people appreciate it. Well, 90%. There's only a handful, and that handful, they're kind of obsolete to me anyway. What's it really matter? Well, I appreciate you coming on today and being an awesome guest, and I'd love to have you back again for sure. Tell everybody where they can find you at online and social media to connect with you if they want to connect with you and follow some of your recipes.
Well, and if you have something else coming up,
please. So it's Elizabeth Heiskell Official is my Instagram, and we've really been working on that. So I would be thrilled if anybody would take a second to look at that, or the TikTok. And then we just shot our first YouTube video, so that will be coming out very soon. And I also have a newsletter that I'm super excited about, and you can go to my Instagram and get information on that. So it's kind of like a second helping, so it's things that I don't share for the Instagram, that if you subscribe to this, then you'll get some.
So that's the name of the newsletter, a second helping?
It might be. I just said that. I'm thinking it should be. I don't know if there's a name.
Pretty cool.
Heath, I'm telling you, I'm gonna come up here every day, and we're just gonna work.
I can spit some ideas out. I'm good with it. It's getting them all executed is the problem. What I found, you can only do so much in a day's time.
I know. That's why I start early.
As my wife, I'll talk to her at 9:30 at night. We're in the bed. We got to do this tomorrow. She's like, "Go the hell to sleep." I'm like, let me make a note over here. Let me make a memo. Don't let me forget this tomorrow.
I know. I almost brought my notebook in here because I have to have it with me.
I'm a note taker. Seriously, my note section in my phone is full of stuff. I don't want to say that as I've gotten older, I forget. It's just so much information that coming in nonstop, what I'm reading or what I'm doing. And if you don't write it down, it slips my mind. Mm-hmm. Can't keep up with it all. It's impossible.
Well, I just can't thank y'all enough for having me. You have no idea. I'm so inspired by both of you. I'm serious. This is an operation you've got going here. I didn't know where I was going. I follow your YouTube and I watch your videos and all that. But y'all, I don't know if you want people come to visit, but it sure is nice here.
Well, I will say this, just like you, I'm just getting started. I'm just building a foundation right now, and hopefully it's going to continue, and we're going to keep pumping out videos and podcasts and recipes, and we'll see what happens.
I have no doubt, not one shadow of a doubt in you or Candace.
Well, thank you again for coming on, and just a reminder, everyone, we will not be having a show the next few weeks. We are taking a break for some upcoming travel, and we will be back after Labor Day. So we'll see y'all next week, or in about a month, on Shootin The Que.
If you have any comments or suggestions for future episodes, please feel free to reach out to us on our social media channels. Leave us a review if you've enjoyed the show, and until next time, keep shooting the Que.